loves, Frankie Jay here, and I'm back with another Chaturbate breakdown video. This one was actually requested, so today's video I will be going through from start to finish how to set up the all-in-one bot. So my advice would be, if you want to, open up your actual bot page and then we'll go through this together. So hopefully this won't be too daunting for you, because I remember when I first started, all this information that I was given, I was like, oh crap, what do I do with it? So hopefully this video will help you in setting up the all-in-one bot. Now, before we actually get into the video, I just want to say you don't actually have to use the all-in-one bot. Everything in the bot itself can be used as a separate bot, but because I'm lazy, I like to have everything in one place so it frees up my other two bots for other things. I will link my apps and bots video in the cards above and in the description box below. It will give you a more insight of the different apps and the different bots that you can use. But this one is all about the all-in-one. So yeah, let's get cracking. Now, in order to find the bot section, all you have to do is obviously choose a bot in your broadcasting page. Now, there are two that I know of that is the all-in-one. You can use the Ultra bot if you wish, but the one that I personally use is all the way down here. This is the all-in-one bot 2048 edition. So this is the one that I personally use. So if you click on that, it will come up with this. So this is what you'll start with. So again, just before we get into this, please don't do what I do. This is just literally a rough guide of what to basically put in there. So if you want to change anything up and you don't agree with what I do, you do you. It's your room at the end of the day. You do what you feel is necessary. So number one is personalization. You can customize this by all means, but I haven't because I'm lazy. If you do want to customize it, my advice would be just open another tab and just type in HTML color codes. I will leave a link in the description box below of the one that I used. I mean, they're pretty simple to find, but as I just said, I'm lazy, so I'm not going to bother. So you just want to click whatever colour you want. I'm going to pick blue because I can. So the custom text colour and highlight colour. So basically the highlight colour needs to be a lot lighter than the text colour. Obviously, that's a given. Yeah, it's pretty straightforward really. And the welcome message, if you see here, you can type in whatever you want. So basically the welcome message is when somebody enters your room. For me, I think mine says, hey you, welcome to Frankie's room, be nice, or basically get the fuck out. Pretty simple. You can have your welcome message to whatever you want. So that's the welcome message done. I completely forgot to mention that this bot is normally specialised for a solo artist. So if you are a couple, I would highly recommend you using the Ultra bot for SCI, I think that's what it's called. I'll leave it in like a text on the screen right now for you. But the reason why I'm mentioning this now is a friend of mine who's in a couples act with her partner. She told me about this app last night, and basically the app, or the Ultra bot, sorry, has actually two tip menus. So if you are in a couples room and you're working alone, you can turn that tip menu on and have the couples one off, and if you are in a couples act for that night, you can turn the solo menu off and turn the couples menu on. So it's a great bot basically if you are a couple. There are some other features in that, so if you do want me to go through a couples bot, please let me know in the comments below and I will do that. But thank you, Jade, for the heads up. So the number two is room control. This is basically to silence greys. If you do want to, you can basically prevent sticky keys, which basically means if somebody says the word baby and they hold as many Y's as they possibly can, you can actually turn that off. So it says convert all caps to lowercase. So if somebody wants to use all caps, they can't. Pretty simple. Graphic levels, 9 times out of 10, greys don't use graphics. It's the ones who have tokens do. But you're more than welcome to turn this off. So if you want to turn all the graphics off, you can do, but please be aware, if you do turn all the graphics off, if you have used graphics in your fan club, they will not work. Just saying, so please bear that in mind. So silence level is basically you can silence whoever you want. So if you want to silence everybody and just have your fan club members and your moderators talking, you can do. This is where you can silence the greys. You can silence basically anyone that you wish. I personally don't, because some of the greys that I've come across are the most awesome people in the world. funny enough, one of my greys that I've come across is actually one of my favourite moderators, and he's literally a friend for life. So it's entirely up to you if you want to silence greys. I personally don't, but that's obviously your choice. These are, to be honest with you, these are actually quite horrible. I personally don't do them because as I just said, it's basically horrible. The grey word list and the grey graphic, so you can put all the greys that you don't want to be talked about in this section, silence them as well. Permanently silenced is this as well, but obviously going into this and typing every single name is a bit of a pain in the ass. However, you can actually silence them in your chat via you being the broadcaster. I will go through that in a separate video because a lot of people have asked, so I will go through that in a separate video. It just saves you typing out really. And then this one is user tip to be unsilenced. So greys obviously can't tip, but if you have silenced any person who has a colour username as their username, they can tip you a certain amount to be unsilenced. But the point that I'm trying to say is if they are silenced, they are a reason why they are silenced. They shouldn't tip you to be unsilenced because obviously they were silenced in the first place and there was a bloody good reason why you silenced them. So in my opinion, this should not be around, but obviously that's my opinion. I don't know how you want to take this information on board, but for me personally, this is quite frankly absolutely disgusting for a broadcaster anyway. It basically is buying them to chat to you, and quite frankly I can't be bothered. So that's the room control done and dusted. So sections 3, 4 and 5 are actually like linked together. So grey word list, custom word list and spam word list, they're all basically exactly the same thing. So what you can do is you can make a list of what the greys can't use, and if they use this in a message, they can be notified to say that it's blocked. Your moderators will have a list of the blocked, and so will you. That is exactly the same for the grey word list and the custom word list. I don't understand why there's two things, because the custom word list you can say applies to only grey, so I don't understand why the grey word list is there, to be honest with you. But what you can do is you can make a custom word list to block the words like baby, BBY, anything really that really pisses you off when it comes to being a cam model. So if somebody says, "Hi baby, how are you?" I'm like, no, I actually have a name. So you can put baby and things like that in the word list, and so it's entirely up to you what you want to use. But if there are people that use certain words that really annoy you, put it in a word list that they can't use. And it doesn't matter about greys. This custom word list applies to basically everyone. That's including your mods as well. But obviously, you having a good team, your mods know what they can and can't say. So spam word lists are exactly the same thing. So spam word lists are basically all the people that come and say, "Oh, go check out my room." We call them bots. Well, I personally call them bots. We normally make it a game, like my moderators and I, to make it a game saying how many bots can we destroy. That's pretty much it. I haven't seen any floating about as of lately, but they do exist. So and they normally are greys, so just be aware. And you can use this feature to automatically silence the users that post spam. But for me personally, I just block the gits. Pretty simple really, just block them. They won't come into your room anytime soon because you have actually blocked them. So yeah, that's just the spam list, or the bot destroy list as I like to call it. But yeah, that's pretty much all three in one go. Whispers, number 6. I don't actually know what this is, so I'm just going to skip that. But if you do know what it is, please leave it down in the comment section below, because I literally have no idea what it is. Now, we're going to start getting into the creative part of the bot. So number 7 and number 8 are all about the king tippers. So ideally you do want to turn this on, because obviously it gives them an incentive to beat the other person. It's entirely up to you if you want. I mean, I personally do because it's quite fun. So minimum tip to be king. I've actually changed this to 1. I mean, you don't have to if you don't want to. I mean, you can always turn it off. But obviously this is me trying to give you the best advice that I can. Periodically announce tip to become, yeah, I always do. So the interval is basically how many minutes it is in between announcements. So it's default is 7. I mean, you can do you can increase it or decrease it, whatever you want. Message to print here, tip X to be the new king. I put the king in the north because I'm a Game of Thrones fan and nobody has got my reference in my chat. I'm really disappointed in everyone. Crown silver, I don't know about any other colours. I've just left it as silver because, as you have probably gathered by this video or any other videos that you've watched, I'm a lazy cow. So the all-time tip king is basically exactly the same thing. So I've put yes. I mean, my very first night on Chaturbate, I made 4,000 tokens, and I actually wrote down who gave it to me and who, like, the amount. So I've actually put their name, so it will say if you want to beat this person you need to basically tip me a higher amount of what he's given. Crown gold, the icon, I haven't changed it. However, you can change the background colour and the text colour of the king. So when they come into your room, they've got all shiny and sparkly. I think mine is green. But yeah, that's all about the king tipper and the high tip king. So number 9 is the leaderboard. Pretty straightforward. Obviously, you can change the intervals to whatever you want, like 5 minutes, 7 minutes, whatever. Just to make you aware, it will only be 3 tippers that will be announced. The colour of the leaderboard will be in your custom theme, or if you have put a theme like I did for blue, the leaderboard will obviously be blue. But that's pretty much it for the leaderboard. So number 10 is the tip messages. Obviously, you say thank you for tipping or whatever. I've just left it as it is. I mean, all I've done is decrease the minimum tip to 1 to trigger the message. That's basically pretty much it for the tip messages. It's straightforward. One thing I will say about the tip message colour scheme is that when somebody tips you a token, for example, it will come up as black and yellow. And for somebody who likes everything to match, it's really annoying. You can customise the text colouring of the tip message to say thank you, or you can leave it as the theme of your room. For example, this will be blue. Obviously my personal channel is pink and purple, so mine will be purple. But you can customize it, but you can't customize the actual tip itself, which is super annoying. So please bear that in mind. But that'll be all for the tip messages, really. So numbers 11, 12 and 13, I'm literally going to briefly explain and then skip through because 9 times out of 10. Number 13, nicknames, doesn't actually work. I've tried it myself. Number 11 is tip titles. So it says displays uses tip totals as titles. So basically, if I tip someone, it will say FrankieJayUK and then bracket number and then whatever I put in there. That's basically what it is. So miscellaneous, I've said no because anything names for any users. Crazy Ticket Show, no, because obviously when it comes to the app, there is an actual app for Crazy Ticket, so please ignore this. It's pointless. Number 13 is nicknames. Use nicknames, no. Skips another 14. I have put yes, but it only works for me for one person. I have tried numerous users, e.g. my moderators as well as myself. It doesn't work, so it only works for one person and one person only. So if you want to turn it off, by all means. If you do want to say yes, please bear in mind it will only work for you or one person. Obviously it's my room, so I use myself. That's basically pretty much it. So number 14, fan clubs. I will skip through fan clubs because I will be making a video on the different types of fan clubs, because if you use this bot, there's actually 2 types of fan clubs. So I'm sorry, but I'm going to skip 14 because it's a long process to get this sorted, and obviously this video is long enough as it is. So let's move on to number 15. The rotating notifier is basically a must-have when it comes to your cam room. I mean, you've got 10 notices. My advice would be put your room rules in as one. Social media, if you are fundraising for any particular charity or anything like that, I've personally put mine in there. You can mention your OnlyFans, you can mention your Twitter, anything you want to put in there you can do. I've put no means no. If I say no, I mean no. All demands and requests are tipped or anything like that. I mean, it's entirely up to you what you want to put in there, but my advice is use a notifier for mainly your room rules and you are basically good to go. Last but not least, number 16, which is the tip menu. If you have stayed with me throughout this video, you deserve a medal. Now, the tip menu will probably be the most important aspect of this bot. As I have previously said in this video and my apps and bots video, you can use this feature in a different bot. I will leave a text on the screen of what other tip menu bots there is available for you to use. So you don't have to use this one, just use the one that I've obviously just mentioned. This is literally the best thing ever. It has saved my sorry ass numerous times. So the tip menu colour scheme, you can have it as a themed, which is the blue, or you can have a custom text and highlight colour. It's entirely up to you. So the separated character is a vertical bar. I haven't obviously on my main broadcasting page I've obviously used pink glitter because my tip menu is all pink and purple. This is entirely up to you what you want to do. You can use your own GIF if you do want to. I mean, play about with it. It's entirely up to you if you do want to. Display the tip menu and interval. Yes you do. You want to display the tip menu because people will bloody ask for it, so obviously you'll turn it on. So how many minutes? I think I've chosen 3 minutes or something like that. Display tip menu message. Yes you will. So you can have the tip interval messages at the same time as the actual tip menu itself, so you can clearly sort that out, or you can stagger it. It's entirely up to you how you want to figure it out. Messages, you can use these 3 optional messages to describe your tip menu. So for me, I've put spanks in mine. Obviously being a solo female, I've put flashes. It's entirely up to you what you want to put in there, but I would use this 3 message system to advertise your tip menu. That's super important. So this section is where you actually put the tip menu itself. This bot has a slot for 30 items. I think I've put 20 because I completely ran out of ideas, but if you do about 20, it will leave you 10 item options for you to stick in, and it will tell you the format. So if you want, for me, I've put a spank as 5 tokens, so you'll put the number 5 dash, make sure it's 2 dashes and no spaces, and then like 1 spank or 2 spanks, whatever. It says that don't use any special characters such as parentheses, which are basically brackets in English. What you can do with your tip menu is, I've personally wrote mine down, so if anything mucks up, I've still got it to hand. You can put it in numerical order. I've personally done it because it looks more presentable. You can put it whatever random order you want. So if you've got like love or blow you a kiss, and then you've got a 200 token menu item, and then you've got a 50, you can do whatever you want. But me personally, I've done it in numerical or ascending order. It looks more professional, but it's entirely up to you what you want. Just play around with your tip menu. I will be making a video on how to build a tip menu, so I'll be covering solo female, solo male and couples. There will be timestamps when I figure out how to do them. There will be timestamps, but yeah, as I said, this is your tip menu. Please play about with it. You're more than welcome to message me at FrankieJayUK on Twitter if you want me to go over it. By all means, some people have, obviously most people haven't. It's entirely up to you. I've helped a couple of people start on a basic tip menu, and obviously you've got the added option to add it or take some out and replace it with something else. As I said, it's entirely up to you what you want to do. But yeah, that's a tip menu done and dusted, and I think that will be the end of the video. This concludes the video. Hopefully you haven't been bored shitless by the sound of my waffling voice. I'm sorry if I've waffled on, I do apologise, but obviously this was requested. But anywho, take care guys, stay safe, and I'll see you in my next video, which will probably be a more in-depth version of all the games that you can play via the bot section of Chaturbate. So take care guys, stay safe, love you all, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.